Hello, my name is Mel, and I'm a low carbon buildings lead at CLF. I'm really excited to share a new project with you called the CLF Benchmark Explorer. In this video, I'm going to give a quick overview of this tool, which we hope will give designers and policymakers key information to reduce environmental impacts on their projects. This tool was created by the Carbon Leadership Forum to better visualize the dataset created by the second version of the whole building benchmarking study. This dataset of 292 projects is the most rich and comprehensive repository of building level and material level environmental impacts in North America. The dataset provides users with the ability to understand how building characteristics, aspects like structural system or building height, and material quantities, such as steel, concrete, or gypsum, can affect the environmental impacts of projects. At present, this dataset is provided in two spreadsheets, one that contains 292 rows and another that contains over 927,000 rows. This level of data can be cumbersome for designers and policymakers to sift through, so we decided to make a tool that is easy to use and lets users dive deep into the dataset. This dashboard consists of a set of customizable box and whisker plots that can be used for design, research, and education. We chose box and whisker plots to quickly display the variability and distribution of results and provide several key statistics for use by the industry. For a refresher on how box plots work, visit the homepage of the dashboard for more information. So let's get into it. On the dashboard, you'll see four major components. The sidebar on the left, with all the controls necessary to display data, the box and whisker plots in the middle, a summary of the controls the user has selected in text, and a button to download the selected data in tabular format. We're going to dive into the controls on the left, but notice how the graphs and text are reactive to the user's inputs. The controls are divided into four sections: impact controls, categorical variable controls, additional filters, and a control for a reference line. In the impact controls, you can choose from the full suite of Tracy impacts, as well as material use, which is the mass of materials in a given project. These metrics can be shown as total impacts per project or by intensities. Intensities in this dashboard refer to the total impacts of each project divided by the floor area of that project, which can include or exclude parking area. Next, there are three sets of check marks which allow the user to select many different combinations to suit their needs. You can select from the lifecycle stages included in the dataset, which include A1, A3, product level impacts from manufacturing, A4, transportation, B4, B5, reuse and replacement, and C2 to C4, end of life. You can choose from different element scopes of the building, which are based on OmniClass Table 21. They allow for the selection of structure, enclosure, and interiors. Some elements can be easily classified, and they are categorized as unknown. Finally, you can select the project type, which refers to whether the project is new construction or some form of renovation or tenant fit-out. Note that different project types may include significant differences in their scope of work that limit comparability. Next, the categorical controls. Here's where things get spicy. By default, the dashboard provides one level of categorization. Currently, the dashboard is displaying building use type, but there are over 15 different variables to choose from. These categorizations can be turned off, and all the projects can be displayed. But let's dive deeper. Instead of all the building use types, let's say I wanted to select a subset of data, say for education and office. To achieve this, I would toggle on the first categorical filter and select education and office. Now let's say I want to dive even deeper and see the different structural systems used by these projects. I can toggle on the second categorical selection and choose structural system summary and see all the different types. However, what if I only wanted to see concrete buildings and mass timber buildings? Then I would toggle on the second categorical filter and select concrete and wood mass timber. Finally, what if I only wanted to see the impacts of concrete in these selections? Then I would toggle the material filter and select concrete. In the additional filters, there are three more controls for the dashboard. First, when impact intensities are selected, the projects can be normalized by constructed floor area, which includes the floor area dedicated to parking, or gross floor area, which excludes the parking area. In the example shown on the screen, the box plots are currently sorted by median, as shown here. However, they can be sorted by sample size or by categorical order, which is a rational order for each category. In this case, this means that the seismic design categories are ordered alphabetically. Finally, the crop outliers toggle visually crops outliers in the dataset. The medians and other statistical data are not recalculated by this toggle. It is meant to create a more visually pleasing set of boxes. The last section is the reference line. Sometimes it's useful to understand how the dataset stacks up visually compared to a single number. This dashboard provides visual aid in the form of a red dotted line. When enabled, you can provide the line with a value, say 400 kilograms of CO2 per meter squared, and provide a title called design limit. This is just an overview, and we'll be excited to share more tips and tricks with you in the coming months. We hope that this dashboard will help users understand and ultimately reduce the environmental impact of their projects. I would like to thank the individuals and firms who participated in the data collection and quality assurance process. This wouldn't have been possible without their incredible support and dedication to the project. To learn more about the CLF Whole Building LCA benchmarking study, check out all the resources on the CLF website.